Today, our pro, Wilson, is showing us how to draw Dr. Eggman. We're starting with the eyes. We always like to start with the eyes. They're a really good reference point for the rest of the face. If we get the eyes right, we can measure everything else of them, and we've got a good chance of producing a really nice drawing. If we get the eyes wrong, let's just try to make sure we get the eyes right, eh, Wilson? And of course his nose, his schnozzer. What we're going to do is just draw an outline of Dr. Eggman with this black marker. Then we're going to colour it in with some coloured markers. Then we're going to come back with a black line marker and do some shading. I want to do the colours first, so that when we do the colours, it doesn't go over the top of the shading and smudge the black line marker. You'll see what we mean later. Wilson is giving him a nice bushy moustache. So this is specifically the version of Dr. Eggman from Sonic 2, after he's been stranded on the mushroom planet and lost all his hair, and his moustache has got all fussed up and gone big and bushy like that. Dr. Eggman, also known by his name Dr. Ivo Robotnik, is a mad genius determined to conquer the world with the help of his robots called Badniks. Unfortunately for the Doctor, he is always thwarted by Sonic the Hedgehog and his allies. But that doesn't stop Dr. Eggman from trying again and again and again. Eggman has a grudging respect for Sonic the Hedgehog, and at times they even have to work together to face a mutual threat. Just like in the movie Sonic 3, they have to work together to stop Dr. Eggman's grandfather, Gerald Robotnik. Now, Wilson is only going to draw this outline down about as far as the collar. That's going to make a nice place to stop the drawing and give us a splash of colour from Dr. Eggman's red coat. A little bit more detail around the eyebrows, and Wilson will be done with the outline. If you like what he's done so far and want to just start from here, you can download a copy of this outline by following the link in the description below. Wilson is going to start colouring in the face now. We're speeding things up a bit, as you can see. We're keeping this part pretty simple. We're just going to colour the whole face in with a fleshy peach sort of colour. We're using a marker called Pink Salmon, but any fleshy pinkish colour will do. There are plenty of options out there. So we're just going to colour in the whole face with this colour. And as I said, we're going to go over this later with some shading. A bit of brown for the eyebrows. And then, of course, the big moustache. The moustache needs a little bit more detail, but again, we're going to leave that till later. For now, we're just going to colour it in. Now some red. This sort of helps brighten things up a little bit. Oh, it looks like that red marker is drying out a little bit, Wilson. Yep, it's as dry as a dead dingo's donger. After we finish the goggles, let's just get rid of that marker. Come on, Wilson. Finish up and get it out of here. There she goes. Alright, let's get a different red marker. Hopefully this one's got a bit more juice. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the stuff. Again, any nice bold red colour will do. There are plenty of options. Any red will do. Any red will do. Now Wilson's moving on to the goggles and the inside of the coat. They're black, but rather than using a black marker, we're going to use a darkish grey, because we want to add some texture to these later with our shading, and we won't really be able to see that if we colour them all black. This grey will do just nicely. Wilson's just about finished with the colours now. Dr Eggman looks a bit funny because there's not much texture in his face, but give us a chance, we'll fix that up. Here we go. Oh no, don't tell me that line marker's dry as well. Does anything work around here? Time to go to Officeworks and pick up some new equipment there, Wilson. Alright, this one's working a bit better. So Wilson's using a technique for shading called hatching, where we draw a whole lot of closely spaced parallel lines. If we then cross over those with more parallel lines at a different angle, that's called cross-hatching. The darker we want the shading to be, the more closely we can space the lines. We want to work in a fair bit of shading in around the eyes to capture that shape of the eye sockets. Some hatching around here will give a bit more shape to his cheekbones. His nose, his schnozzer, still needs a bit more detail around the bridge and the nostrils. Again, working some more shading in around the eye to capture that shape. Let's do a similar thing with this cheek to what we did on the other side. There's a fair bit of shadow down here because of his huge moustache, so Wilson's going to shade that in with a bit more hatching. And we want to give a really nice distinct shape to the bottom of his chin to give that sense of a sort of a bum chin. As I mentioned earlier, using that dark grey instead of black will allow us to add in a bit of shade and texture to the inside of his collar. Now it's time for Wilson to come back to the moustache. We want to add plenty of detail here, because the big bushy moustache is quite a distinctive characteristic of Dr. Eggman. We want to try to capture the shape of the moustache hairs, but without getting too carried away trying to draw individual hairs, because that's just going to make a big mess. A bit of shading under some of the big chunky parts of the moustache, and I think that might just about do it, Wilson. Yeah, good one, Wilson. Good one, Wilson! It looks great, Wilson. Skin it, dude.
Skin it.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, if you want to get your hands on our Dr. Eggman outline, you can download a copy of it by following the link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, why not visit our channel, Kissy's Art Adventures, to check out some of our other cool content. We'll see you next time.